what if a client says to the agency, "Oh, you just decide what it is"?
It is what you've always done. And
Yeah.
again, when HMRC come knocking on your door and say, Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, what have you done to show reasonable care? And they go, no, we just passed it down the supply chain, don't worry about it, go and speak to them. I can't see HMRC going, yeah, no problem, well, that's fine, you've got away scot-free for doing no work. That's why HMRC is still banging on and saying they're still going to educate clients on how to do it,
Okay.
so they can help.
But, sorry to interject there, if the agency is paying for the contractor, so they're the fee payer,
Yeah.
surely the client's thinking, well, I'm not responsible, mate, it's going to go on to the recruitment agency that are paying them, surely it's on them.
So
Is that not right?
the liability would sit with the fee payer unless the client hasn't sort of discharged the responsibilities that they have. They have to do a status determination statement. They have to send it to the next party in the chain
So that's
and
an
the
integral
contractor.
part of the process.
That is an integral part. They also have to take reasonable care when doing so, which I know Andy touched on as being quite vague. There's not really much case law to determine what reasonable care is, but you'd think reasonable care would be them not just going, yeah, that contractor's outside. They have to take some sort of approach to get to that decision. They then could also be liable if they don't respond to a status disagreement from a contractor. They have 45 days to go back on that. They do have liability to do these things, so they have to take reasonable care when making status determination statements.
So a contractor saying, hang on a minute, I think I meet the criteria for outside, you said I'm inside, I'm going to challenge that, they've got 45 days to respond.
The challenge process. So again, because this has been brought in for post-April, a lot of contractors, if they do get a blanket ban, they will genuinely think they're still outside of IR35. They will say, my working practices dictate my role, and I'm even doing CEST and said I'm outside, etc. They've got the right to then go to the client and challenge the client and say, I believe my role is outside, you need to show me proof or evidence that it's inside.
Yeah.
And that's when the client has 45 days to respond. So you look at that and go, as a client, do you want your contractors do a blanket ban and get a load of them challenging me? Because then I've got to find an in-house team that understands the challenge process, what needs to be done so we don't become liable again, or do we do it at source and go, if we can go and look at each role and have an SDS on each role, knowing that if a contractor does challenge, we can go, here's the SDS we did before the role, you challenge
Okay.
isn't valid. So.